Now back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790 AM. Brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency, Gaston's White River Resort, Sportsman's Warehouse, and Barton Power Sports.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on this fourth Saturday of the month, which would normally mean Bill Cooksey and Ron Wong. We call it Bonus Wong, BW. So, but of course, our friend Bill Cooksey is ill this morning, and so filling in for Bill is he's working on Bill's headphones. He's afraid he's going to get
they working on his broken headphones.
Broken headphones.
They look the same, don't they?
Yeah, Guy Trebo. No, they.
Oh, man, just stop.
Yeah, that's enough. Guy Trebo, our webmaster for LROutdoors.com, and on this fourth Saturday, hope everybody has a great Memorial weekend. And the holidays, because there's a big event in Memphis. In our area tomorrow, we're going to talk about later in the show.
Yes, we will.
But there was a big event up in one of my favorite places. Of course, it's real close to where I went to school. We won't talk about that. But
I have to tell you, one of my favorite places to go.
Yes, it is. In Springfield, Missouri. And, we've been talking about this off and on since I think the first shovel was turned.
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
And that was before the Sportsman's Outlet store and the new corporate offices were built. We saw where exactly what you're saying, the first shovel of dirt being moved for the foundation for the Lews corporate complex there.
And now we have the Lews Ozarks Fishing Museum. It opened on May the 19th. And, of course, Ron has great connection with Lews. Lews has been a supporter of Outdoors with Larry Ray for many years, whether it's Mike or Lynn. And today we're proud to have the president of Lews on with us, and that's Gary Remensnyder. Good morning, Gary.
Good morning. How you guys doing?
Hey, we're doing great, and we're glad that everything is settled. Tell us... And Ron was up there, but tell us how the excitement of finally getting that museum open.
Well, it was really humbling to see how many people turned out.
I saw the crowd.
Dignitaries from across the industry were there, as well as local media and Chamber of Commerce, recognition from the Springfield market, and the weather cooperated. We're always being looked after. It seems like it was just a beautiful day and a great event, and it was just so exciting to get people into that museum so it can actually be appreciated. All of the great items that we have in there, and get people to enjoy what we've been able to put together.
Well, Larry, Gary,
Larry.
Yeah.
I've been called worse. I can promise you that.
We'll try.
I have to tell you, the memorabilia that has been collected for this museum is really, really amazing. You don't have just one of a kind. There are a lot of items that you have there that you have multiple colors in, of a lot of old lures, fishing rods. And, because Lews is such a good corporate citizen, it's just not Lews reels and rods that are there. There are some things that I saw there that were absolutely amazing. I mean, some really, really valuable and unique antique fishing equipment that you guys got there. All the way from the old Ozark boats that they used in the rivers there to one of the very first Rangers that was built. It's an amazing sight. And how long did it take you guys to get all that stuff, Gary?
Oh, well, that's hard for me to say. My partner, Lynn Reeves, has been a collector for forever, and just as a personal passion for him, and I know he's been collecting, some of that equipment for probably, I can say safely, decades.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But, it's been in the last 5 or 6 years when we've really kind of focused on having a dream to have this museum, and so over that time period, we've been looking to acquire additional equipment that could represent the Lews brand and the Lews history. And through that process, we've come across some other collections that were not maybe Lews specific, but relative to the Ozarks fishing history, and that's why we've branded this museum, the Lews Ozarks Fishing Museum. So as you pointed out, Ron, it's a great reflection of the history of Lews, and we have some absolutely one-of-a-kind items from the Lews history there, but we also have items from other brands that are relevant to the Ozarks area. So it's been a long process, but it's been well worth it. Seeing the end result last week was amazing.
And let me ask you this, because he's got the J.D. Fletcher White River Collection.
Right.
Now, I've heard a lot about that. 5,000 lures. That's pretty amazing. And then he has also the original pistol grip rod handles from the Shag Man himself.
That's right.
Yeah.
Actually, those handles were carved out of wood by Lew for Shag to get his feedback on, and those are in the museum. There's the Fletcher Collection is awesome, and what Ron referenced, one of those float boats, was one of the original float boats that the Fletcher camp would use to float down the White River to rest the fish in that
really is.
river.
And so people are. There's no cost, right? I mean,
no cost. We invite you to come in. I think Ron also mentioned we partnered up with Ranger Boats, and and I want to give Ranger a plug because they did this on their own. They took a 1975 Ranger bass boat, and they spent their own money to refurbish it and to get it up and refinish it and get it looking good. We also contributed by adding the trolling motor and the motor and the electronics and all back into the 1975 era. And the reason for that is because both Ranger Boats and Lews, in that time frame were like the brands to have. If you had a Ranger boat and you were fishing with a speed spool and a speed stick, you were just the cat's meow back then. So that's pretty cool too that the Ranger company helped us out with that boat as well.
Wow. And for the grand opening there, it was an absolute pleasure and a surprise to have Casey Childry there. And I have to tell you,
the son
of Lou Childry, that's right. And Casey was there. We're going to have pictures of Casey, Gary, Lynn, all of the Lews staff, and some of the grand opening, and some pictures of the museum here on lroutdoors.com. Probably by the time this show is over, thanks to Guy Trebo. I took a bunch of pictures, and we'll get them out.
Yeah, but you had Guido and Dion in the same room together. They didn't come?
Well, I think the fish were biting.
Well, it's on the press release I'm reading here, Ron. Well, now Ron's making a big face. I wish you could look at the faces here. How do I know? I just read press releases here.
But, one thing that you made a point earlier that I would like to emphasize is that there is no charge. We do this to honor Lew Children and the other great brands that are represented in that museum. It's a very interesting, it's a worthwhile trip. You could spend literally hours in this museum taking in, the collectibles that we've been able to pull together. And then also, next door to the museum is Sportsman's Factory Outlet, our retail location, where you can get just great deals on Lews rods and reels and many other products that apply to the fishing in the Ozarks. So
that's where Ron
it's definitely
goes.
a worthwhile trip, and I'd encourage everyone to put it on their calendar.
No, Gary, you're absolutely right, and because of that store being there, I've got to get another job because it seems like every time I come up to visit, I'm broke again, and I have to tell you, that's where you find all the Lews products. And, one of the things, Gary, and I'm going to give everybody in the Memphis Mid-South area kind of a teaser here.
A teaser.
But I had the opportunity to visit with Bob Brown at length while I was there.
Yeah.
And
tell our listeners who Bob Brown is.
Bob Brown is the architect.
Yes, he is. Yeah.
Of the rods that come out from Lews.
Yeah.
And I have to tell you, I got a sneak preview.
Oh, you did?
Of some 2017 products that are coming out. And oh my gosh.
How can they do it? Are they going to be lighter and faster?
They're going to be lighter, faster,
How?
stronger.
How can they do that?
And Gary, I just don't know how you guys do it.
No. How do you do that, Gary?
Well, I'll tell you, Lew Childer put the pressure on us, didn't he? When he introduced the Lews brand, he was one of the greatest innovators in our industry. So,
yes.
When we said, Lynn and I said, hey, we want to relaunch this brand and we want to pay tribute to Lew.
Yeah.
He put the pressure on us. Every year we got to come out with stuff that's lighter, faster, stronger, just to try to to keep up with the legendary reputation that he established. So we work very hard. There's a lot of rods and reels out there, and we need to stay innovative, and we need to bring great values to the anglers every year. And we've got a great product development team there, headed up by Lynn Reeves, and who drives and makes that happen. We've got a great lineup for 2017. And Ron, I think I know what rods you're talking about, and they are awesome. They're going to smoke.
They're going to smoke, and I know that. Let's give them that address. That's 3031 North Martin Avenue, Springfield, Missouri. That is the Lews corporate headquarters. And I have to tell you that I'm looking at Wong right across from me. You'd never guess what he's wearing, Gary. He's got on that yellow Lews shirt, and it looks really sharp on Ron. I don't know why.
The only way we can get Ron looking good is when he puts on Lews apparel.
Well, I think he's got on one on the front and one on the back. That
big logo's on the back.
Big logos. Hey, we thank you for taking time to be with us, folks. You're heading to Springfield. You're going up there, and you got a lot of things to do in Branson and all them other great places. Now you have something else to go to because the great folks at Lews with their museum. I got to get up there because this is my kind of thing. I love the Daisy Museum in Rogers. I love museums because I is one. That's whatever I just.
Well, you put Lews Ozark Museum.
I got to,
Fishing Museum on your bucket list.
And folks, you can be up there. And how many hours? No, I don't want to ask Ron how many hours it takes him to get up there.
5 hours is what it takes from Memphis, and that's not speeding.
That's how. Well, how do you make it in 4?
Well, it took me 5.
It took you 5. Hey, Gary, thank you for being with us, and tell everybody hello up there. And again, thank you for your support of Outdoors with Larry Ray. And we'll sick Ron up there again on you. Okay?
Hey, it's a pleasure. Thank you for having me, and I hope everyone has a wonderful Memorial weekend.
Thank you, Gary.
Thank you.
All right, let's take a break on Outdoors with Larry Ray. Be right back.
You can find out all about it on Outdoors with Larry.